I've been using acid exfoliators at home for quite a few years. I've also had some professional peels, not the type that leave your skin red, burnt and peeling off so that you don't want to leave the house, but still strong enough that the facialist had to hold a battery-operated fan quite close to my face to keep it cool. But with any skincare routine, consistency is key, rather than an intense treatment every now and then. So about 18 months ago, I decided to commit to a weekly at-home exfoliation treatment. And that's when I really started to see the benefits of acids. Because acid exfoliators work by removing dead skin cells on the surface of your face, along with clearing out congested pores to reveal smoother, brighter skin underneath. And doing that regularly helps to prevent the buildup of rough, dry skin, as well as keeping blackheads, pimples and bumpy patches at bay. So when that's all gone, your skin will be able to absorb your serums, oils and moisturisers so much better, and they become much more effective. Hi, I'm Bibi, a qualified facialist, skincare expert and a woman over 50. I totally get how the menopause can play havoc with our skin, even if you've always had good skin, looked after it and used quality products, because the hormonal changes during menopause directly impact our collagen production, hydration, sensitivity, pigmentation, and that all leads to visible textural changes in our skin, which becomes thinner, drier and loses its glow. But it is possible to improve the quality of our skin naturally. Look, we're in our 50s. Our skin is never going to look like it did in our 30s. But with a consistent skincare routine, using products that really work, we can look radiant and feel confident again. Now, I've used a few different chemical peels, gradually building up in strength. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the one I now use regularly and how I use it, because it seems to be slightly different to how I've seen others use it. But if you want to understand the different types of acid, what they do and what type of skin they're suitable for, watch this video where I explain all that and more. So over the last month or so, I've been using this, the Ordinary Peeling Solution. Now this is one of the strongest acid exfoliants over the counter in the UK. And for that reason, it should only be used by experienced acid users. If you're new to acids or have only been using them for, say, a few months and you're using an AHA, then stick to a 5% strength or 10% at most. And if your skin is sensitive, you should be using a PHA and sticking with a PHA. But for those who've been thinking about moving up to this one, and you've been using acids for a while, let's take a look. The AHAs are a mixture of glycolic, lactic, tartaric and citric acids, which work by unsticking the glue that holds the dead skin cells in place, and also help out evening the skin tone and diminishing fine lines. So it not only smooths but brightens too. And the 2% BHA, salicylic acid, will get deeper into the pores, clearing away congestion. The Ordinary is very affordable. This retails at £10 or less, so their products not only work, but they're accessible for most people too. I use this product once a week. You can use it twice a week, but because it's strong, I prefer to stick to just once. It's consistency that's key, that phrase again. So once a week, but every week. The best time to use any exfoliator is in the evening. And then in the morning, make sure you apply your SPF, because these products can make your skin more sensitive. So I start with a clean, completely dry face. I do put some skin balm around my eyes and my mouth because even though I'll be avoiding those areas, they can still start to feel a bit tight after cleaning my face if I don't put any product on them. You do need to avoid any areas of broken or sore skin like a cut or a burn. And if you've had a runny nose and have been blowing your nose a lot, then this area might be sore, so avoid that as well. I actually avoid all my top lip there. Now, it seems some people apply this product directly to the skin with the pipette, which I would never recommend. Too much can come out into quite a small area, and it's a strong product. So you could also easily splash them in your eye if there's a little drop on the end and you perhaps, flip the pipette away too quickly. It's also not very hygienic. The pipette shouldn't come into contact with anything. It might look good in a video, but it's totally not practical. The other way I've seen it used is to apply the 4 or 5 drops, and that's all you need, to the tops of your fingers, rub them together and then press onto the face and then distribute. But the way I do it is 1 drop at a time. Let me show you. Okay, 1 drop on my forehead. I don't rub it in too much, and you can see it's not a thick layer. And then 2 drops on my cheeks. You can see the difference between 1 drop and 2 drops in the colour. Okay. And then 1 drop on my chin. I do feel my chin is one of the areas that I need it most, really. And then I've got 1 drop left for my nose, and if I want to put more onto my forehead. There we are. See, I avoid that area and around the mouth. There we are, 5 drops in total, evenly distributed. This should be left on for a maximum of 10 minutes, but you don't need to leave it on for the full 10 minutes. The first time I used it, I think I left it on for about 5 minutes. You might feel nothing at all, you might feel some tingling, and that's fine. But if it starts to feel really uncomfortable or burning, you need to remove it immediately, okay? I can feel it tingling on my forehead, my nose, and a bit on my chin. So I'm going to leave it for 10 minutes and then wash it off with some lukewarm water and a face cloth. I'll be back soon. So after 10 minutes, I've now washed it all off and I have nothing on my skin right now. So you can see it's a bit red on my chin and on my cheeks, a bit on my nose, but it does feel quite tight. So I need something deeply nourishing and hydrating. So I'm applying my old favourite, my rosehip oil, quite a lot. But this will totally absorb into my skin in about 20 or 30 minutes. And then if I still feel I need something else on top, I'll just use a light moisturiser. There we are. But no actives, no retinol, no vitamin C. And for the next few days, if my skin still feels a bit tight, I'll be applying facial oil throughout the day, even on top of my makeup, just pressing it on like that. But if you use this product and your skin is feeling very dry afterwards and it's peeling, you can still use it, but just scale it back a bit. So don't leave it on for the full 10 minutes and perhaps use it every other week rather than weekly, because you don't want to damage your skin barrier or make your skin too sensitive. I look quite oily now, don't I? But I'm really happy with that product and I'll continue to use it. I like the way it makes my skin look and feel. Links to the Ordinary's peeling solution and the rosehip oil I use are in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing, because I'd love to share with you more of my expertise as a qualified facialist and a skincare expert, along with my personal experience as a woman over 50 using affordable skincare that really works. I really believe that we can rediscover glowing skin, whatever our age. And talking of glowing skin, if you want to find out more about facial oils and how they help to boost dull, dry skin to look radiant again, you can watch this video next.